Great morning. Hope everybody's having a great morning. I think it would be rude not to bring up that this is Mother's Day weekend. Don't know about you guys, but I think we all appreciate the mothers. I sure wish mine was still here with us, but this is that weekend where we all think about our moms, at least for me. I don't think we could, I want to praise all the ladies out there, just the things that they do. There is a special thing. I don't care how us fathers want to act like we're the main things, but let's face facts. These mothers, I just know this. My son's 42 years old. If he gets sick to this day, he's visiting. He wants to cuddle up with his mama. He don't come to his daddy if he don't feel good. I don't care how tough they are. Everybody wants the mama, and that's fact. And that's one of the things we always want to remember. But this morning, I'm excited, extremely excited, because when I get a notepad out, it's because we're going to talk about a subject that, if anybody knows me on social media, they know this is not me. If I like your post or make a comment, you did real good, because I think I counted, I've made 7 posts in the past 12 months. That's it. I'm just not what you call a social, but now and the reason is I've never seen any financial gain from me playing on Facebook. Sorry, I'm just going to be straight up with you. Now, all these folks are doing so much on social media, and Dr. Crystal has been involved in Buffy Wallen. I see somebody in Tammy. I mean, we've got the who's who of social media. And now that I'm seeing it work and I'm seeing people's paychecks go crazy, guess what? You may see some posts out of Chris Doyle, because I'm like, okay, now we done got something different here. Rather than me telling everybody what I'm eating for breakfast or where I showed up at to eat, I don't even know if anybody wants to know. I'm kind of private about that stuff. Now you're going to pay me to talk about some of this stuff. So now you're going to start seeing me post about things a little different once I learn how, because I really don't know how. So with that, I mean, honestly, Crystal, I was a little panicked when I didn't see you jump on here, but I did see Tammy got here, and I'm like, okay, I got some backup. No offense, Coach Palmer, but I know you're good at social media, but these girls are killing this out here. So I'm going to turn it to Dr. Crystal and Brent, because this is a really amazing thing. And I'll start with you, Coach, and let's just kind of kick us off here. I think this is an exciting morning. I think if you'll take notes, and here's where most people fail. I'm gonna add one other thing. We tend to come to training and we listen, but do we actually go back? I know I'm guilty. Go back and implement what we learn. And today, if you'll implement the things these ladies are showing you, and I'm going to have to tell one thing off. Buffy, I talked to Buffy Wallen this week on the phone a little bit. Brent through it. She's like, she was confused about certain things, but what she's not confused about is how she's getting the money part. She's like, I know I'm getting it. She was trying to understand some of the client plan, how to utilize it the whole way. And you know what she knows is she's getting paid. And I love her attitude. Like, I don't have to understand all that. I know this. I'm getting paid. So with that, Coach Palmer, I want to turn it to you and Dr. Crystal, and Anthony, you can take me off the screen, because this is time for me to make notes. I don't need to be not looking at the screen. I'm going to be looking at my pad.
Thank you, Chris, for that. And I love these Saturday calls. I mean, the attendance, the people, you turn on your screens. I mean, it's a really great call, but it's the community we're building. And I just want to kick it off today by saying, I'm with you, Chris. Me being an educator and an administrator going into network marketing and starting to build, I didn't even have a Facebook account back in 2011, 2012, 2013. So it's been a learning curve for me. So if you're on here today and you're going, I don't do that, or I've never done that, let me challenge you to your mind's like a parachute. It only works when it's open. Think about it. And so be open-minded, because a little bit ago I was open-minded and I started watching what the ladies in our company was doing. And I've talked a lot and I'm about to bring her on, Kristine McKay, to introduce and talk to you a little bit. But I was talking to Kristine McKay, and if you're new to the call and there's new people on, Kristine McKay is over our North American market, and she does so much for us from the executive level of our company. And And that's what makes us special. We are, not only do we have the best people in the world in the field, we've got the best people in the world at the company that really cares about you and me. And they're doing things. And so Kristine McKay talked about, all the possibilities there is to create sales online. And it's the way of the world with Amazon and e-commerce and Shopify and all this stuff going on in the world. People know this. They shop online every day. Maybe put a 1 in the comments if you would agree with that. How many of you shop online every week to do something? We all do. We all do, and the world does, and it's a normal thing. So I started watching these ladies. I just got to give you a plug because I'm stubborn. I'm 47 years old, and I am stuck in my own ways, and I'm stubborn. But I'll tell you what I'm not stubborn about is when I see something working and people making money, I'm like, I want to make money. I want to make more money. And so I believe that there's 3 things in this network marketing you got to be able to do. I talk about it all the time. You got to be able to lie, cheat, and steal. You got to be able, and listen, you got to be able to lie in bed at night and dream big. If you're not igniting yourself, no one else is following you. Like if you're not setting yourself on fire, you can't ask anybody else to burn around you. You got to ignite yourself. So you got to lie in bed at night and dream where you're going and how you're going to get there. You got to cheat time out of your day to hustle. These ladies on social media have a plan. You're going to learn about it today, what their plan is, and they're acting their plan out. So you got to cheat time away from your day to do it. Maybe it's 10 minutes. Maybe it's an hour. And then you've got to be able to steal ideas from people that are already doing it and having success. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So to my point, I'm going to be quiet. I got these ladies on a Zoom because I don't know about you, but when I see something works, I got to get your cell phone number where I can call you and steal those ideas. So I called Dr. Crystal and others and Kristine, and I said, how's this happening? Guys, we started, if you just follow like my stories, because I'm not somebody that knows what I'm doing. And I started just making like you can't see it, Crystal's Venmo account that says deposited 1367. It's not an income claim, it's Venmo. Okay. And guess what? People started saying, what are you doing? That one post, I had a guy from Colombia, Nicholas, reach out to me. Colombia, South America, because of Crystal's Venmo account that I posted. How hard is that? Guess what? He was on the phone with Carlos, who is over our South American market. And next week, I got his whole team joining us on a call. Yeah, it might not work out just like that, but would it be worth one post to potentially get a whole organization in another country? Pay attention this morning, because I'll tell you, not only the social media aspect, but guys, we have something that is rocking right now called ShopLive. And I'm going to turn it to Kristine at this point. Kristine McKay came to our company with a vision that she wanted to start something called ShopLive. That she wanted to create something for the field that they could tune into and tune their customers into and their potential prospects into. And she created this platform that is driving massive amounts of sales. Now, I'm partial. Dr. Crystal Vance is like a sister to me, but I want to tell you what she is. She's leading our industry. And Dr. Crystal joined and partnered with Kristine McKay and said, you know what, on the 3rd Wednesday of every month, I will do a ShopLive and we will work together to almost conquer the world's problems. If you're having problems with, how many of you put a 1 if you've ever been stressed out in life? Maybe you are right now, graduation, end of school, all this stuff going on, pollen in the air, like you're stressed, right? Guess what this Shop Live next week is going to be about? Stress. So how many people could you tune into stress? And they're building assets around it so that you can share on social media and drive them to this call. And guess what? We don't just start this process right today for Wednesday's Shop Live. We start it way back at the beginning of the month. If you're plugging in, you're paying attention. Guys, this will blow your business up. So I can't take credit for it, but what I can tell you is open your minds this morning. And even if you're not doing it, figure out how you can plug in and watch how it's being done so that you can incorporate this into your business, because it's exploding. It's exploding. I'm watching people today get notes. You know, I made $900 in my Venmo account this week. I made $700. I made $1,300. So if your Venmo account is empty or your PayPal account is empty, if you'll plug into this group on social media, if you'll plug into this group in their trainings and in their teachings of what they do every week, you too will see this growth in your accounts. It's so simple. The system works. So I want to bring on I almost called you the Godfather, Kristine, but not the Godfather, but let's just call her the Godfather of Shop Live. Kristine McKay, you're an amazing person. I love your heart for what you do and how you want to help people grow in this business. And thank you for just kind of, everything you do on a daily basis for all of us here at Partner Co. So I want to turn it to you, and I know you're going to introduce Dr. Crystal.
I love it. Thank you, Brent. This is honestly, the honor is mine to be able to work with you guys every single day. I learn far more from you guys than you guys will ever learn from me, and it's fantastic. But yeah, I'm excited to be here with Dr. Crystal because she has really helped hone in the perfect live shop experience. And for those of you, I know we've got a lot of new people, so let me just really quickly tell you what live shopping is. And then I want to go through the benefits of live shopping, but more importantly, the benefits for you. What's in it for you? But live shopping is basically just like it sounds. If you've ever watched QVC or HSN, you have a really laid back conversation selling a product. When I worked in shopping TV, we called it the over the fence sell. And it's so interesting, the parallels that direct sales has with live shopping, because it's all about testimonies. It's all about stories. It's all about just conversations. And so every Wednesday, we have a live shop. It's at 1:00 and you can tune in live. But the cool thing about it is when you share the link to that show, and if somebody watches and purchases from that show, it is attributed to your account. That URL link is unique to you. But what's even cooler is not only can you watch the show live, you might send it to somebody and they're busy. They might not get to it until later. But that link always lives. So I know Dr. Chris, I remember when we first did this, you were like, Kristine, I have this volume and I don't know where it came from. And it was from a Shop Live that you had shared like a few weeks prior. But how you get to it is in the back office. You can click down any of the drop-down tabs. It'll be shop, then you click Shop Live, and there is current shows and past shows, and you just copy and share the link. So that's what live shopping is. But I want to get into it with you, Dr. Crystal, because I know I'd love to just hear how it's helped your business.
Yeah, thank you for Shop Live. I never thought it would turn into what it has turned into. I went from, I came here as very business minded, right? I'm a businesswoman. So in my mind, everything needed to be brand partners. I only wanted business partners. And so customer mindset, if I have this mindset, someone else does. Okay. That's what I got to say here. I thought I don't need any customers, because if I get a customer, it means I just failed at getting them to be a brand partner. So it was sort of like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. It was like, well, if you don't see this vision of this empire I'm creating, then see you later. I didn't let people just come in and come in where they want. And then if they see the vision for it, they run with me. And if they don't, they still create income for me. I gave away a lot of income. And when I started using the ShopLive, I had 0 customers. That's why I noticed this volume. I was like, where is this coming from? This is not one of my brand partners. And I went in 1 month. Every week I was making a post. Because I have a schedule. I schedule, like, I'm going to make this post on Mondays, this post on Tuesdays. And so Wellness Wednesday, I just started posting a post about a ShopLive and the topic. You guys, in 1 month, I was averaging over 800 PV in ShopLive volume. I wasn't even talking to these people. They were seeing my post. They were shopping themselves. I did nothing except make a post with a link. And they, in their voyeurism, I'm going to go shop in secret, 800 volume that gets auto balanced somewhere in my business to make me more money. And I was like, oh, we got to get people understanding what ShopLive is. It's like free. Like, you just have to get it out there for people to go shop.
And Dr. Crystal, I want to go through some of the benefits, but you hit on a benefit that I don't even know that you and I have talked about, and I call it the lurker. The lurker is somebody that might be interested, but they don't want to approach you because they're afraid that you'll bug them, or they're afraid that they won't like it and they'll have to hurt your feelings and tell you they don't want the product. And lurkers, this is perfect for ShopLive because you just post, like you said, you're just posting the link. They can go look at it on their own time. There's no direct obligation to you face to face. They can just go in there and buy it. And it's amazing how many lurkers that there are that are interested in your business or interested in your products, but afraid to make the commitment to make the phone call. Yep. But I want to just go through really quickly why ShopLive works in general. And last year, so China is leading the way in the virtual ShopLive. Last year, they generated over $9 billion in live stream shopping. It is the new way to shop. And in fact, the QVCs, the HSNs, they've all switched to online. It's interactive, which means it increases engagement. When you join live, it creates a community. It's a conversation. It's not just Dr. Crystal and I talking at you. You're talking with us. So the person feels included. It's convenient. We're busy. As much as I want to support my friends, if they ask me to be at their house at 7 o'clock, I may not be able to do that. They send me a link and I can watch it on my own time. I'm more prone to do that. Wider audience. You don't just have to depend on people in your geographic location. This is global. You put it out there and you can have people from all over the world. My favorite part is because what makes this business work and what makes Shop TV work is the testimonials, the stories. Here you have live, real-time testimonials. As Dr. Crystal and I are doing our show, Crystal, isn't it awesome to watch in the chat all of the people sharing their testimonies?
Oh, it's a lot of times what happens is when people post something in the chat, it gives me something to then like dive a little deeper into when I'm talking, because I know you guys think this is all planned out. But what's cool about it, and I think is fun, is it's totally on the fly. Like, we have an outline, but when we get on there, like, you guys are throwing up to us the things to really, talk about. So I love the chat. So please, that's what makes this good, is that we have the community. So when we're on that live, please join us. Please get on there. Please put stuff in the chat. Because not only are like your potential friends seeing it and seeing you comment, okay? So you became your own third party validation, but you're helping your downline. You're helping your, like, this is a truly pay it forward, showing up on the live event and putting in the chat. So please don't think just because you can see it later that we don't want you on the live. We need you on the live. This is an all hands on deck event, the third Thursday of every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time.
Absolutely. And then I just wanted to wrap up and just say, you know, Crystal, you hit a nail on the nail on the head for one of the other things, that third party validation. So I want to talk about why we've talked about why live shopping works, but I want to talk about what's in it for you, how this can make you more successful. First, if you are just joining or you have brand partners that are just joining, there's no way that we can all become a perfect expert on every product. This is something you can start right out of the gate by just sharing the link, because you have third-party validation by Dr. Crystal, Dr. Ginger, other health and wellness experts. You don't have to feel obligated in that stress of sharing and knowing all the science behind the product. My favorite, conversion. The average conversion on like email sales or, you know, direct to consumer sales is about 2 to 3%. So if you send out, you know, a boatload of emails, you're going to only get about 2 to 3% that convert into a sale. Our shop lives are averaging 11 to 17%. It's incredible. I mean, we've not ever seen stats like that before. In fact, Darren didn't believe me. I had to show him because he knows that conversion rates just aren't that high. So the key is it's a numbers game. Share more, and you're going to have more conversions. It's easy. And the last thing that I wanted to share why I think the Shop Live is so, well, two things for you. One, you share those links and you are literally earning money while you sleep. And I say this, I've said this before, I hate that cliche, but in this case, it's absolutely true. You share those links. You don't know when somebody's going to watch it and purchase. So you share it, you're done. And then last but not least, and Dr. Crystal's really honed in on this. And so I'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well. But now you can provide a customized solution-based experience for your customers. If you have a friend that you know, she is worried about aging, her skin. If you have somebody that is worried about sleep, we have one product. But you can go into the Shop Live, you can customize what show you send them. You can talk about Renew and how it helps you sleep, or you can talk to Renew and how it's weight loss. This is a solution-based shopping experience that now you can customize. So, I mean, I could go on and on about the benefits, but it is the easiest thing that you will do in this business. And I challenge everybody, join. If you can't watch live this Wednesday with Dr. Crystal, share the link and continue to share it. I guarantee the more you share that, your conversion rate anywhere from 11 to 17%. So those are just a few thoughts I had.
Yeah. And so I see that how much profit from a purchase. You guys, this is your normal customer. This is your normal compensation, wholesale retail. That's what we're trying to explain why this is so stinking good. You're doing like zero work, but posting a link for people to shop, and you're still making the same amount of money as if you went and sat down at a coffee shop and told them all about your stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, what's the better use of your time? So,
yeah. Well, and we drop little nuggets like, you know, this is a great deal, but hey, you want an extra 15% off? Talk to the person that sent you this video. So we drop little links if they're interested in converting over to a brand partner, right?
Absolutely.
Or auto ship.
Absolutely. So this Wednesday, is myself. So you know that I've committed to every third Wednesday, you know that's happening. There are other ones that happen and they come down in your partner co-share app to let you know who is coming on. This last week we had Brett West, Dr. Ginger was week before. We've had
Week 4 is typically Lucem. That's kind of been a consistent.
Okay. So, you guys, Laura Sales is great at doing the Lusum. So here's what you've got to be business proactive. Okay. So we did create assets. We always create assets for the ones that I am responsible for, not really responsible for, but you guys get me. We'll make sure those assets go out again today and renew you, and we'll get them up in MOA so that you guys have the assets. What do we mean by assets? They're the picture that says, right? It talks about the topic, and then you make a post. And so I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So let me share my screen here. All right, there's our beautiful Miss Kristine McKay. But you can see here on this, there is one of the assets we created. It was this 1 month is about stress. Well, a lot of people are stressing about graduation, right? So this is one of about 7 assets we created, different themes around stress. Now I want you to see what happened. So I took it, and I make sure I take one of these assets and I make a post weekly with one of the assets. So you can go look. You have to become good at watching the people who are having success. And you do not have to message me and say, can I copy you? That's what you're supposed to do.
And Dr. Crystal, I was just going to share why this is more dynamic, and you're going to have a better reach than if you just put a picture of Elite and say, hey, join our ShopLive to learn about Elite on Wednesday.
Yeah, because the people who are engaging and watching your social media, they don't want to be sold, but they have issues. So like I have all these friends who have kids that are going through graduation, and when they see that graduation hat in the word stress, they go, oh my gosh, me too. And that's what you want them to say, because that stops the scroll. If I just threw up a thing of Elite and said, this will help you, they're like, yeah, you and the other pink drink and the other supplement that someone posted. Like I didn't say what's in it for them. They just think it's all about me and what's in it for me when they buy my stuff. So this switches the narrative where it's all about them. So how many of my friends have graduates? I offered a solution. It's not all about product, but what I think is cool, this is what we want to see happen. Could you almost word for word my post this week? Yep, you could. Just make sure you put your link down in the comments, not mine, okay? Because you see that. Look what Andrea did. She didn't want to post the exact same picture because she has a graduate. So she modified it. It's almost the exact same thing, but she put it in her words, and she built for Wellness Wednesday with her own story. Brilliant. She has 21 comments on there. 63 people liked it or loved it. Now, if you see her post come by and you know someone who's graduating, or has a kid that's graduating, type their name in there and be like, this might help you.
And Dr. Crystal, can I just add to one thing that you've done that is just incredible is the Shop Lives. It's, you can feel so confident and feel good about sending friends and family there because it's not right out of the gate, buy. Whether they purchase or not, there is added value because Dr. Crystal will go through like maybe, 5 top tips for stress-free. We're creating a relationship. So maybe they don't buy that time. The next time they see your link, they're going to join. It creates loyalty.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Miss Kristine, thank you so much for joining us. I know you had plans and I totally hijacked them, and that's what's cool. There's not very many corporate people who drop their personal lives on Mother's Day weekend and jump on. They would have been like, can we do it in like 3 weeks? And Kristine's like, I'll change my schedule.
You got me out of a hike, so not much sacrifice. I'm just kidding.
Just some blisters. That's all I sacrificed were some blisters. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on Wednesday for the Shop
Thank
Live and
you.
all of you guys too. All right. So we're going to kind of switch gears here because the Shop Lives obviously are amazing, but I want to bring up social media training. Like, let me just preface this before I do this. My first person that I have coming up here is Miss Tammy Maltby, Anthony. So if you want to, there she is. All right, Miss
Hey,
Tammy, I'm so glad you're on here today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so you guys, we came out of Florida and we know we've all been using some type of social media. And like Chris said, it's all different levels of it. You know, where do you actually turn it into income? And we decided that we were going to go on kind of an all-out assault. We saw, I love Robin Perone and all of the girls that, and guys that are a part of her team. And like, we have a lot of people who are using social media, but it was like, how can we get better at this? So that's what today is all about. And there's a lot of us that you're going to see on here today who are just getting started, but having results. That's what we're here for, right? Is results. There are so many people that I could have brought on here, so many, but time is limited. Okay. So I only have a handful of people today. We'll do this more often, but what I want you, I did create a document called Social Launch, and Anthony will get it out like Anthony does. He's amazing. He'll get it out where you can get all of the tips, tricks to make your social media start popping. Okay. It even talks about a social launch, how to like set up your Facebook and that kind of stuff. That is not what we're talking about. What I'm talking about today is the action. And when you take action, something happens. And so we came out, it does not matter. Like, you're seeing a lot with Slenderize, you're seeing a lot with Renew, you're seeing a lot with Elite and MOA. And look, it's not about the product, it's about the action. Okay. So, Tammy, what happened?
Crystal.
You came out of Destin and you were like, I'm doing this. What shifted?
You know, hi, everybody. Happy Saturday, by the way. It's good to see you all. Thanks for joining us this morning. You know, one of the things as I was reflecting over this, Crystal, as you were putting this beautiful Zoom together, and thank you for all your hard work and leadership, which is always amazing. We all benefit from you. And so thank you so much. But when I came out of Destin, one of my biggest takeaways, now I've been in this industry almost 10 years, Crystal. So I'm not like a newbie. I'm not an old bee. Well, I kind of am an old bee, but I'm not an old bee in the business. But
Careful there, lady.
but I've been in the business 10 years. I've done my business many different ways. And I think that's what I want to encourage you all this morning. There is no one way to do this business. Hallelujah. I love that. I love that we get to reinvent how we do this business, because 10 years ago, social media didn't look, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, did not look like it does today. Social media has changed. Yeah. Shopping, the network marketing business. If we don't evolve with it, we become archaic. I mean, we really do. We have to be looking at and be willing to be lifelong learners. And so if you're taking notes, I want you to write that down. I choose to be a lifelong learner, because when you choose to be a lifelong learner, you're willing to do something you've never done before to get a result you've never had. And so I have never done this before. So I'm just telling you straight out of the gate, this is my first attempt at doing this, even with 10 years in network marketing. But I decided to do something different. I decided to, they were doing a promotion, and that's another key. These are all the little success leaves clues for you. When I was in Destin, that's your first key. Get to the events. Your second key is they were offering a promotion, drops with some, can't even remember what it was. I think it was Noni or whatever. It was a promotion they were offering. And I've never used the drops. And I got to a place where I wanted to lose about 8 pounds of belly fat. And I'm not a heavy person, but that's the point. That is just my point. Not everybody needs to lose 80 pounds. Not everybody needs to lose 50. There are a lot of people in the world that if they could lose 10 pounds, that would change the trajectory of their health and how they feel about themselves. Write that down. Remember, what do you need? And remember, other people are looking for the same thing. I can't reach everybody, and I'm not going to try, right? My perspective is I cannot reach everyone. What I can do is look at my story and create a transformation myself. Create my own story that people get to watch happen. So I got the drops. I've never used the drops. I used them, but not faithfully. And I decided I'm going to do something after watching what Robin had done. I thought, okay, I can't do that. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not putting myself in a bikini online. It's just not happening.
I want Chris Doyle to do the bikini. I want the Speedo pics, Doyle.
I don't think I do. Sorry, Chris, but I just got to say, there's a point. None of us look good.
None of us want to see that. Actually, that's not true, Tammy. What we really want to say is she's just really giving me a hard time, because we know that now we get Kristen, my daughter, doing that, but we don't want me in a bikini. That's for sure.
And so
Sorry,
I'm saying that to comfort those that see before and after pictures. I didn't even take a before picture, folks. And this worked, right? So I'm telling you, but what you're going to see consistently in my posts, I only did three posts.
Hold on. So you've done 3 posts, and how many new customers do you have?
I had 60 women reach out to me and 1 man. 60 women and 1 man. Almost all the women were over 50. And I have 13. Actually, I just had a woman this morning, 14 new customers and 1 new brand partner. And let me give you some tips with that too. So you're going to see, I put a picture of myself in every picture and every post. People, please understand they're connected to you. They're not connected to just somebody else's transformation. But what I did do is I used my picture first, right? And I was just inundated with people. My next post, I gave testimonials and a picture of myself and a couple of testimonials and before and after. The picture I put of the woman in the swimsuit or the workout gear, I wanted women that felt like me, like normal women that didn't look like, bod babes because that's not who I am. I wanted women to feel like if they could just get 10 pounds off their stomach, they're going to feel good. So I picked I don't even know who this woman is, but I loved her before and after picture because it looked real. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's another tip. Please be real about this. Be honest about this. Put real pictures of real people. And the reason you see sunglasses on me is because I've been walking 10,000 steps a day. I had no makeup on. So sunglasses are a really good form of makeup. You just put the glasses on. And a baseball hat is really good, hair. So figure it out. But that's even relatable to people. Yes. And so the second one, I just added 2 stories of people that had found some hope with the drops, and I had lost 8 pounds. I told the story, more energy and reduction of belly fat. I looked at my audience, and you need to look at your audience. Who are you? If you are whatever your vibe is, it might not be SlenderX. It can be Renew. And I'm going to get to why I chose this product and how I'm moving into signing people as brand partners. So let me just finish this part. And then the very last post is the last post, because all 3 of these posts are working. That means I'm not going to continue to create posts. I'm not going to put more content. In fact, last night I put out a post about Jerry and I going to an RV place, and I needed the feed to come back to who I am as a person. And so now I'm back to people believe me again. They're like, okay, I did that. But what I'm doing is I'm following up with every single one of these women, even the women that have not yet got the drops. I'm going to reach back out to them for my strategy personally and introduce them to Renew. So what I needed, and so I want to encourage you, you need to take an action item. You need to do something to get a different result. I needed new prospects to work with, Crystal. I needed new faces. I needed new blood. I needed, I don't like blood. That sounds awful. I needed new people to be able to reach out to, but my list was dwindling. And I thought, after 10 years, my warm market has been reached out to several times.
Right.
And I needed a different market. So now I've got 60, probably close to 70.
Wow.
New prospects to come into. And so anyway, that's how I've transitioned. So my action item, my encouragement to you today is, doesn't have to be SlenderX. It can be anything, but I just signed to actually this morning, Denise, one of my, has become a dear friend. She's coming in with an ultimate pack, right? Like I've spent time with her explaining this. She's been watching this whole transition. And this is what I said to her: copy what I've done. I don't care. Put your own pictures, make it your own voice. But if you see one of the leaders, and I'm not necessarily putting myself in that role as a leader, but if you see someone that is having success, please understand this. Unless they say that they don't want you to copy what they're doing, we create content and put it out there. And if it feels like you, copy it, make it yours, and watch and see what happens to your own, your own contacts and your own sales. So it's a pretty fabulous thing. Thank you, Crystal.
You're so great. So you guys, yes.
Hey, I just wanted to ask this real quick. And Tammy, by the way, you are an amazing leader of people.
Incredible.
So I got to give you, I got to say,
I'm a worker.
I learn from you every week, lady. Chris, if we run over, is it something that we could do next week too? I don't know if Crystal can make, I just know you've got several, Crystal, and I don't want you to feel like we got a crown. So I don't know if next week works for you, but if it does, feel free to extend if you need to.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get through?
But it takes too much time.
Tammy, would you repeat where you said the part about not everybody needs to lose 50 pounds? Would you repeat that saying real quick?
Because we see so much of these big transformations, right? That was not my story. I needed to lose 10 pounds. So remember that the average woman in America, if she loses 10 pounds, or the average man, they're going to feel really great. They're going to feel good. So sometimes we make these huge jumps, which is great, but the average person, they're looking to lose 5, 10, 15 pounds. So remember your audience. Remember that I speak to my average audience. I look to the person that feels like me, and I use language. People understand the power of words, understand the power of language. Language is very powerful. And if you use real words that sound like you, for the average person, your net just got a whole lot bigger to gather more people in, and you're going to get a lot more contacts that way.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing that, Tammy. Thank you. All right. So up next, I have Miss Stephanie Wilson, and I am going, I want to get everybody seen in the next 12 minutes. So, but with that being said, I know we've gone way over, but with that being said, I I'll probably see if I can't get these group of people back on to dive a little bit deeper into what they're having. Plus, we'll see the success of this next week. Okay. So Miss Stephanie Wilson, are you there, girl? Hopefully we still have her on here. Yes. I think I might have lost her. All right, so I'm going to talk for Stephanie, okay? So Stephanie Wilson is out of Chipley, Florida, and you guys, you can see her posts here. She's having incredible success. Her husband has incorporated her husband in, and they're just having fun. That's one of the things with Stephanie that I want to bring out. Go and grab her name and go to her Facebook and look at her posts. But these are the posts. I asked them, find your top posts that are bringing in the most things, right? Who are bringing in the most results. And she says, don't just get discouraged if you aren't seeing fast results. Everyone is different and drops are getting your hormones right. Right. So she goes into her story. She's lost 10 pounds. She posts a picture of her husband now doing it. But one of the things that Stephanie does that I think is brilliant is she created albums on her Facebook. Do you know what I'm talking about? Photo albums. And she has one that is for slender eyes, skinny drops. You can see that the very last picture. And she puts all of the testimonies, all of her pictures go inside of the album so that if somebody wants to go look at photos, they go there and they can see everything. It's like her own little arsenal for the drops. She has the same thing for Renew, the same thing for Moa. So when grab a picture and save it, and when it gives you where you want to save it, you save it into that album. Upload it into the album so that you create your own little arsenal on your Facebook. You can do the same thing inside of Instagram where you make little folders at the top and you can put all of these photos inside there where people can click through. Okay. Next up, I have Lindsay and Bill Parson. Do I have you, Lindsay?
You have me.
Yay!
Bill,
I know
Bill
you
had to
guys
go.
are at
We're
the,
softballing.
yeah, you're at the softball games. I so
Yeah.
appreciate you. So I love that you're the business girl. You're turning this into an empire. She's like, let me show you my analytics. So analytics come with a professional account on Facebook. In the document I sent you, it shows you how you can turn yours into a professional account. Okay, guys? Tell us about these posts and what's happening, Lindsay.
Yeah, what's happening here is I have 1,330 some friends on Facebook or followers. What you can see here is with an authentic post telling your story, how you can reach, I think one was almost 3,000 people it reached. That is more than I have the capability of reaching with my friend list. So for me, the big thing is being authentic and sharing your story, being who you are. And that's one thing here. And then your story is going to get shared. But I think one thing that I really wanted to point out is finding who you are and who your target. I'm kind of piggybacking a little bit off of Tammy, because we don't have to share everyone's picture. If you're selling to everyone, you're selling to no one.
Yep.
So find your story, and you can share other people's. But for me, what has been my success is being authentically me, sharing my stories of consistently working out in the morning, sharing my consistent pictures of using the products that I'm doing, and just showing people who you are and connecting and being vulnerable with your story. And these two posts did that. I was very vulnerable with, you don't have to show pictures. If you are not comfortable putting your body out there, I competed in bodybuilding competitions, so I'm comfortable with that. But if you're not, I have girls who have just shared their scale pictures. And so you can do what you're comfortable with. what you feel is natural to you, but it's just that. Let people connect to you and your story, and it really will resonate with people who then share it. They'll resonate, they share it, and then
Yeah.
it's going to continue to get shared, and it's going to hit the people who need to see it, who share your similar dynamics, who can resonate with your story. And that's what happened here, is that, you know, people resonated, it got shared and hit way more people than I could have ever on my own friend list.
Well, and I want to point something out here. When you look at the post on the right, you guys look, it says 44 people liked it. It was shared 4 times, but which means she has her team sharing her stuff. So great job. But she could have been like, only 44 people like this post. If you don't have the analytics set up, you would never know that 1,400 people saw this post.
Yep.
So there's a lot of you who are posting and you're going, no one's looking at my post. Oh no, they're looking. You're just maybe not putting the call to action in there for them to reach out to you. Does that make sense? Like, we think no one's paying attention, but you don't have the analytics. When you go and look at the analytics, holy moly, that's a big stinking deal. Okay. So what's going on behind the scenes matters. Now, I love this other part of what you guys do. You have pulled your husband into it. He's awesome. I love this, that Bill's joining you, and you guys are using Reels.
So this is a fun way for people to see how you interact and how you're funny, you know, what you do in your daily life. People want to connect to you. They want to know who you are with using the product. I mean, they could go to Walmart and pick anything off the shelf, but they're connecting to us as people. They're connecting to our story, seeing who we are. Like today, I posted a reel that was my daughter at softball, because they want to see what we're doing in our real lives too, you know, connecting as people. And then they're going to say, oh, I really like what they're doing. I wonder what they're doing to get healthy, right? It makes them think, well, they have a fun life. They do fun things. And then they really want to ask about the product. I've had lots of people reach out, just ask, what is that you're making a yucky face at? Lots of people. And then that's a segue to be able to tell them about the product. You know, I say, cheers to better sleep. I don't, you know, they don't see that that's renewed. Somebody has to ask me, what am I doing? What am I taking?
Absolutely.
That's the call to action with those.
Absolutely. And here's the other one. I love that you pulled over your guy into this, because there's not a lot of men who are using social media. The #1 Facebook user is women from age 45 to 55. Okay. And so, of course, if they're the #1 users, they're the #1 posters. But how many of us women have a guy at home that, like, we want him to, like, join us with drops?
Yep.
That's the politically correct way to say that. Okay. You're like, hey, honey, look at this. But I love it that it had 8 shares of all of your posts. That had the most shares is the one of your husband, not of you.
Yep.
Right. So, well, thank you so much for jumping on here. I appreciate you leaving the game to come in here and help us. So
thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate being able to share.
Awesome, Lindsay. Can keep going, girl. Keep going. All right. Up next, Miss Brittaney Lunsford, Bells, Tennessee. I love this girl. Where are you, Britt?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me today, Dr. Crystal.
Oh, I'm so glad you're on here. Okay, so I found these 3 posts, and what I loved about this is the very first one is literally from Destin. Was it your first post that you made?
It was. I was terrified to make a post. I didn't like social media. I always hid. So it was my first post and it was my story. So I had to be vulnerable and get real. Yeah. So I sat down, I wrote, I cried, but I listened to you and I talked to Lindsay, who was just on before me. And, I have some of the best insight from you two ladies. But, you gave me that call to action in Destin, get out there, post. You're not doing anything if you're not getting out there and posting, and you can't do it wrong. So I would say what I had the most success was because I think I had something like 16 shares on my story post. And everybody that shared went in and said, this is real, guys. Read her story. I have a unique story, but it's a story about a lot of women also share, that they're not going to come out and tell you they have the same issues that I have. Women like me tend to hide.
Right.
So it was important for me to get that out there and say, okay, if I can do this, so can you. That one has reached more people than I can count probably. I have sold a lot of drops off of it, but I made a lot of good connections off that post. So what was important there was my story, being vulnerable and showing my face. I have hid for so long and I was so scared that, people are going to unfollow me because they don't want to see me. They don't want to mess with me. Guess what? They do. The outpouring of love from that first post has inspired me to keep going. So yeah, that was a big one for me.
They say that when you're making content and when you're out there sharing, that speak to your former self, because typically when you start to go out there, you've had some level up, right? You've leveled up in life and so you like look back at who you were. It might have been a week ago. It could have been 5 years ago, and look back at that person and turn your content, because those people are your niche. Those are the people who are going to see you because you see them in your content, and you're doing it beautifully.
Thank you. And I will tell you, I've got to get on the analytics because I actually had a girl find me from Mississippi, that I think South Haven area. I have no idea how she found me, but it was from you guys sharing my posts. And she has the same problem I do. So I'm trying to reach out to the audience that can relate to me. I'm not trying to, you guys, I'm not Lindsay. I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't need to lose 10 pounds. I realistically need to lose 150 pounds. That's who I reach out to. But that being said, it still catches people's attention. I have 3 men on the drops from that post. So it's not just about the, converting it to the sales. It's about getting them into me and starting the coaching, because there are times where they don't reach out to me for 2 weeks and then they show up and they're like, people follow people. You guys say that all the time. So I say this, and it's a Brent quote, but left foot, right foot step. There's some days I don't think I can do it, but I'm going to get on social media and I'm going to post if I don't do anything else.
I also want to point out, you guys, she's not just doing social media. Her social media post is her out doing what? A little expo. Like, you're getting yourself out there. You're building your business. So since Destin, like, what's the numbers looking like? Like, tell me.
Incredible. Retail sales this week. Numbers, you want to hear numbers? I added it up before I got here. $24.65 in retail sales this week.
$24.65.
No, $2,465 this week.
This week. Okay, guys. So when was the last time you made that in a week? How many of you don't make that at your day job? Lindsay, did you have any of that before you went to Destin?
I did not. And I have in 5 weeks made $1,400 in retail with a full-time job.
Brittaney, did you have any of this before you went to Destin?
No, I wouldn't post. I was scared. Somebody said to me, if they unfollow you, they're not for you. Post, get out there. Don't be scared. Be yourself.
I love it.
And I do. We post those pictures of retail, and I have people that show up that are lurkers on my Facebook page. They'll show up to talk to me in person because they won't comment or message me on Facebook.
Good job, girl.
Thanks,
I'm
Dr.
excited
Crystal.
for you. This is awesome. I'm so excited for us because you're
Yes.
sharing it with us. You're inspiring all of us, and it's amazing. So way to go. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Crystal.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Miss Beth Johnson out of Billings, Montana.
Your mom can.
You're muted, Crystal.
There we go. I'm back. Okay. I've known Beth since we were in high school. And since Destin, this girl lit herself on fire. Okay. And things are happening. In fact, we're supposed to be on a call like in a minute. So, girl, go ahead and go to the Zoom room. Go ahead and tell us what you're doing, and then go ahead and log on to the Zoom room. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
I sat in Destin 2 years ago, and you know, you meet everybody, you absolutely love everybody. And I remember thinking, you know, I want this. I want better. This second year in Destin, having taken that area and changing the mindset. And I didn't just sit there and say, I want this. I sat there and said, I deserve this. I deserve better.
Mhm.
And so I had to take the courage. Just like Brittaney, I did not like pictures. I hid. And so, you know, last week I did the call to action and I put my pictures out there. And then I think what has really changed too is engaging. Like as soon as they have commented, I comment. The one thing I would recommend that they have said, and I hadn't done that yet, is actually engage them with that question. So I'm engaging by responding to their posts, but now I need to maybe engage to keep it going and getting them to share, because that's what I've taken out of this so far. And I love that, you know, remembering that not just keep posting about this part, but that who you are as a person. Been making some TikToks because those are absolutely fun. So sharing that. And I think just stepping out of my comfort zone and giving it a go, and realizing that, yes, you do deserve this.
Well,
You
I like
deserve
how
better.
I like how you're taking and having fun with the TikTok, because TikTok is fun to you. And then you repurpose it and share it to Facebook, not only on your regular posting, but you also put it in your stories as well. So you're literally using it in 3 different places, one little thing that you've created. That is fun.
And the reels. So I'll post in stories. So in your TikTok, if you're doing the videos, if everybody does not know, there's a mark that it will save into your photo album. So you'll have the video to where it's not having to send them to TikTok, that they can actually just watch the video, because it's like it's coming from your photo album. You can throw it in a reel, you can throw it in your story, you can throw it on a post.
So, and then the other thing I put on this slide is a text that you're sending, because like you could build totally on social media, but you're like, I'm going to do a Zoom and just pull everybody together. And like you see here, she's got a call to action for someone who doesn't want to get on the Zoom. And then she made another event out of it. Like, you're brilliant.
I'm following you. I follow what works.
See,
You
you're
guys-
brilliant. No, it's not because
seriously.
you're following me, but
Um,
because you're buttering me up. You're so sweet.
No, you know, huge. I said huge thanks to you and Brent for challenging me. This is so out of my comfort zone. If anybody knew, and you knew me when I was younger, absolutely shy. I am such an introvert. Being a cheerleader and dancer, I would rather go dance in front of 5,000 people than talk in front of 10. So
Well, you're
Um,
doing awesome.
huge accolades to you guys because I'm feeling amazing inside and out. So
Good.
mwah, love you guys.
Thank you so much, Beth. All right, guys, up next, we have Miss Buffy Wallen, and I believe she's going to be our end. So we're going to just be a few minutes over here. So Miss Buffy, where's my Buffy?
Can you hear me?
I can. Hey, girl, how are you?
Good.
Good. There you are. All right. So you guys can see her posts. I love this. Some of you are like, oh my gosh, their posts. You know why I'm ending it with Buffy? Because Buffy keeps it simple. Buff,
Yes.
tell us what you're doing, girl.
You know, it's hard for me to tell you what I'm doing because I really don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. And, you know, all these others before me has said about being scared to death. You know, people will talk to me and I can talk to anybody, but putting that on social media scares me to death. But, you know, just the other day I put that on there and I always think that I have to be right. I guess make sure your hair's right, make sure you do this, what, blah, blah. And I got that shipment in and I just sat out there on the porch and go, I'm going to be vulnerable and just put it out there. And, you know, I don't know, you told me 500 and something views. I don't even honestly look at that stuff. You know, I mean, it's just, I'm just telling them like it is. I mean, I'm just saying, hey, I feel good. I feel good. Try this. You know, I don't go into any extra. I mean, honest, I don't know any extra. So I'm just telling it like it is. You know, if you'll notice on one of the comments, and I'm going to be very vulnerable to y'all, one of the comments said, does it have caffeine in it? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Immediately I text Andrea and I'm like, does it have caffeine in it? She goes, no. And I'm like, no, it don't have caffeine in it. I mean, it's just, I'm just throwing it out there, you know, and fun with it.
Absolutely. I didn't get a chance. Lindsay told Brittaney, just go out and make a mess. We'll clean it up.
Yes.
And that's what every single one of the people that have been on have just thrown caution to the wind. We always said they threw their heart over the fence. They're just like, you know what? I don't care if it works. I'm going to work.
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's exactly how I'm doing it. I mean, it's just, you know, like I say, I feel like I'm saying the same thing the other girls are saying, but it's so true that, I mean, scared to death. Like I say, if anybody could see me in the grocery store, I'll talk to you right and left. But that social media absolutely scares me to death. The last post of me making a picture with the, you know, I mean, that was before bus route. But guys, I felt so good. I mean, that's 5:30 in the morning, you know, and I'm like, I am ready. Why can't people see what I see? You know,
did you feel this good?
right.
Buffy's like, you showed this picture. I'm going to kill you, Crystal. Okay. So Buffy sent me this picture. You know why? That is a poop eating grin because every single one of us are on here for results. Tell the story right here. Who are these like guys, Buff?
Well,
like, what are you doing?
I'm never sending you another picture. You want Palmer to even say anything, but talk about vulnerability. I have a tattoo, and I wanted to go in and you know, like freshen it up or whatever. The guy that's standing to the right of me he rode my bus and it would just go way back. But I went in there yesterday to the tattoo parlor and it's like I walked in and I'll show you. This is my bag. I carry with me everywhere. I have everything in this bag. It ain't a purse. It's a book bag, which to me looks weird because most women come in with a purse or whatever. Here I am. I've got a book bag. And I mean, the whole time that he's working on me, I'm talking and I'm talking about how good I'm feeling. Da, da, da. Well, his wife is next door doing tattoos also. Well, she's listening, you know, and whoever else is in that other chair is listening. So I made a point of like talking, but not just throwing up, you know, And when I left there, the guy that was doing my tattoo, he bought a box. And then when we went down the steps, I'm like, are you going to tell this guy about the box you just bought? And they're like, what in this world is she talking about? And before I know it, and this is, I mean, they're in my book bag and they laugh because I've still got the money the way it looked last night. Like they was giving $25 because they're like, and Dano was like, if we're doing it, everybody in the shop's doing it. And I'm going, oh, wow. You know, so they all supposedly started it last night.
Okay, what I love about this, okay, is why did Buffy have success? Because she had her tools with her. How many of you have a bag with a set of drops? How many of you have a set to sell in your bag? How many of you have a 5-day trial in your bag? How many of you have a box to sell in your bag? Like, if you're in business, get in business, because these girls and guys mean business. They're mouth open, store open. Mouth open, store open. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Buffy. I really appreciate you. Well, guys, we are bringing it down to the last post. I want to show you. If you're sitting here still going, I don't know what to do, I want you to find somebody that you know, you've heard on calls, that you've seen doing things, and I want you to just go copy. And if you want to add something to it, add something to it. Ashley Paulson, incredible leader, business is growing. Her kids are graduating. She's got 2 seniors. Her life is like turned upside down, but she's like, I'm going to make a post and see what happens of it. And she came up with this idea yesterday. So she calls me. She's like, what do you think? I'm like, this is awesome. She posts it. You guys, look how many shares she had in less than 1 day. 10 people grabbed this. She's got all kinds of traffic that came off of this. And what is this? In honor of Mother's Day, I'm doing a free drawing for a set of our drops. And I was like, girl, that's a commitment. You're getting ready to give away $140. That's what we sell a box of drops for. And she says, yeah, but look, share this post on your feed and you will be entered into a drawing for a free box. When you're done, post it in the comments. She's had all of these people posting this, and now she's going to back to them, and she has the ability to say, hey, do you want to join me and do this? Do you want to make the profit from this? Or is it okay, right? She set herself up for leads with one post. So Lindsay Parsons is smart, and she grabs it and she takes it even one step further. It's beautiful. Hers has been shared 9 times. This all happened in the last 24 hours, not even, probably the last 12. She's getting traffic. She also offered free content. So she gave more value to the post. So if all else fails, copy someone and make it a little bit your own. And that is what social media is about. Social media is about copying what other people are doing successfully, tweaking it to making it your own until you catch the hang of it, and then you'll start creating your own naturally. But here's what you got to do. Start. So today, I want you to go out there. I can't not do this. Anthony, can you play the TikTok from Stephanie Wilson's husband from Jimmy, or that link I sent you, the little movie? Can you throw it up real quick? Have fun with what we do, guys.
Hey, pay attention to the road. You're going to kill us all trying to sell these slenderized drops. My gosh.
Just hold on, I got this.
I can't tell.
Now, how, like, that, seriously, just have some fun. Like, we need a lot more people having fun here. And you know who's having fun? The people like Buffy who are showing cash up in the air. Stephanie and Jimmy Wilson, she don't have a problem pulling her husband in because she's having fun and making money. So just go out there and have some fun. So Chris Doyle, Brent Palmer, anything from you guys? I know we're way over, but good Lord.
Well, you squeezed it in. You squeezed it in. I'll say this, if everybody on this Zoom, guys, if you'll just continue to plug in, like if you're in a season where you want more money, plug in, just like you're doing this morning, and you're going to find your way to get there. And the biggest thing I got from this morning, Crystal, is if you're looking for a complicated way to do this business, you're missing the boat. Not complicated. It's just throwing it out there, being vulnerable, and really at some point you might have to figure out a way to not give a rip, because you know what? Nobody else is building your dreams. You're building your dreams. So we've all got to take a lesson in. I'm not going to worry about those people that I'm talking in my head that might not like what I'm doing. Just do it, because they're not building my dreams. Guess who's building them? Me.
That's right.
The only thing I'm going to add is what Crystal already reiterated. That is, it doesn't have to be original to get started. There's a lot of, you heard from some of the best posters there is. I saw Tammy posted about these drops. I'm like, where'd that come from? Now we know. I didn't have a clue. All at once, I'm like, this girl don't need to lose any weight. And she's all about these drops all at once. What she does, in her mind, if there's one thing I learned in 10 years, and she said it, I've been here, I've never met a woman that didn't want to lose 10 more pounds. I don't care what y'all are skinny and they want to lose 6 more pounds. It's like the girl's the bodybuilder. But we all think about the ones, and the others need to lose weight too. So copy, look, some of the best ideas I've gotten were never mine. Matter of fact, I'm not sure any of my good ideas were mine. They were always somebody else's, honestly. But you know what? I'm the one that made the deposit. So my deposits were just as good because of someone else's idea. Guys, it's been a great Saturday. Happy Mother's Day to all our mothers. We'll be back next week. And honestly, we're trying to give you content that'll help you build a business, but it will not do you any good unless you take action. Those posts will not do you any good. We heard somebody say, been there 2 years ago, then all at once she's doing it. So anyway, y'all have a great day. Thanks for being on. Happy Mother's Day again.